Hello everyone, I'm Shaz, your favorite broker, and today I am in Wilmslow with the guys from MS Lending, Jamie, Adam, Jamie, say hi.
Hi guys.
Hello.
And we're going to walk and talk, show you around Wilmslow and also talk MS Lending. Let's go. Okay guys, so for anyone who doesn't know, do you want to introduce yourselves, Jamie?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah, I'm Jamie Pritchard. I'm Sales Director here at MS Lending Group. I was lucky enough to join in March, and I've got a great sales team with Adam here, Tom, and the rest of the team, Daniel and Junior and Ash. And yeah, trying to take on the bridging market, doing exactly what we're say we do on the tin.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam Torber, Head of Broker Relations at MS Lending Group. Proud to be part of MS Lending Group, been with the business now for 2.5 years. Take pride in what I do and love the fact that I have relationships with some really great people.
Like Shaz.
Like Shaz.
Exactly, like Shaz.
Just Shaz, yeah, all talk, no deals. You said you're Sales Director, a lot of corporate speak. What does that actually mean? What do you do day to day?
So that's a really good way of saying it, to be fair, because yeah, Sales Director, basically I'm here to not just run the team, which is the sales team, and try to strategize really about where we need to be going in the future. So Michael Stratton, MS, is, with Adam and everyone else in the team, have built up a really good foundation of where we are at the moment, and that's what really drew me to come. So the strategy next is to how we can grow even further, scale. And I think that then comes from doing more through the relationships we've already got. And it's not about building up new relationships, because it's about what you can do with those who have supported you through the journey already. And it's a strategy about then going into different sorts of distribution, helping out with the new technology sides that we've got coming in with the new CRM system. So I think it's well known on LinkedIn, if anyone's seen me, that I keep on going on that I'm old. So they've just brought someone who's old in.
Of course,
you know, done it.
A veteran.
Experience, done it before, hopefully.
Adam, obviously from your side, so look, when Jamie joined, because it's not been that long, the first thing I thought was like, how is Jamie and Adam going to work together? Because he's a bit of a maverick, you know, a bit out there, and you're really from a proper, well-spoken, which is a good thing. How's it been with Jamie?
Good for a northerner.
No, that was really good.
How's it been with Jamie, kind of in the office and, you know, being?
Listen, I was a bit nervous when Jamie started.
So was I.
Just because I'd heard lots of good and bad things about it. But no, I think you know, look, MS, you know, works really hard on bringing in the right people into our business. I think it's safe to say, you know, Jay carries a really good reputation. You know, he's well known and holds a lot of gravitas. He's got the experience. He's got the wise head. He's navigated this industry before, leading teams and being involved in bridging. And I think with those elements of Jay, he's really uplifted the sales team, and I suppose, not that I'm looking for an extra bonus, but you know, he's guided and certainly helped me to elevate my own profile, which you know, has helped me to establish myself a little bit deeper in bridging.
He's always looking for a new bonus, by the way.
You mentioned bonus straight away. Like.
There's an easy way to earn bonus. We just write even more deals than we're writing now. So.
He did pay me 50 quid to say that.
Adam, question for you then.
Yes.
So you deal with brokers, I guess, a bit more directly.
Yes.
You know, you're my BDM. From a BDM's perspective, you know, what would you want to see from a broker? Because I know that I have my own questionnaire that I send clients and then retype it and send it to you. I know some brokers send you one line, maybe some send a whole War and Peace. What do you want?
I think the more War and Peace you get on a deal, on inquiry, I think it gives the lender the ability to appraise the deal up front.
Okay.
You know, the last thing that we want to do as a business or as a BDM is put you know, our brokers in a compromising position because we've missed something day one that we've quoted for, and then the goalposts tend to change. So I think, you know, lenders and BDMs truly appreciate the level of detail that brokers present on inquiry, and often, you know, by giving that information, the deal tends to stick. You know, what lenders don't like, or BDMs, is surprises later down the line.
But is there a case perhaps to tell you as a BDM everything, but you can say, guys, present it this way, this is the way it's going to work, not to mislead anyone, but more just to package in and present it.
I think, you know, the greatest collaboration with a broker is working in partnership. So, you know, I never want to sort of be a dictator, but I think it is about education for brokers when dealing with certain lenders. Some lenders want certain information, other lenders, you know, might want it presented slightly differently.
Okay, and I'm in a WhatsApp group. Yeah, it's not a secret group anymore. Everyone knows about it.
I know about this
Everyone's
group.
banging on about MSN group in that WhatsApp.
And yeah, well, them and a few others. But one thing I was told was there's a brokerage, or there's brokers actually, multiple. It's not singling out, where they will send you maybe a small summary, but expect you to deal with the client as well.
Okay.
Does that happen?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
And do you like that? What is that something that you want to stop happening? Like, what's the deal with that?
I think it's two bits to that, isn't it, Ads? Because there's some who will send you just minimal information and one in terms.
Back of the fag packet.
Back of the fag packet terms. And I think that is, not what I want my sales team to be doing, just send out inquiries. But secondly to that, I think it's because potentially where they've got that lead from has meant that they're at risk of losing that lead to somebody else, because maybe they've got it through the internet, maybe they've got it that way, and they just want to have a quick term so they can deliver it to their customers so quickly and beat the other broker maybe to it. So that's not great, but we can work with it again, and we go back with the questions, all those great bits that Ads just sent. The other ones who want to send over the customer and do it that way, is that really broken?
No, of course not. It's a name and number. Introduce it.
Lazy, Shaz?
Well, it's introducing.
lazy,
But it's
yes.
introducing, so we would accept it.
But you're going to pay them the full product.
No.
Do you know what I mean? There's a balance and there's a give and take.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from a broker's perspective, nothing more annoying than
Agreed.
getting a quote and the figures change. But I do highlight to clients as like, that's only going to happen or should only happen if something changes your side.
Yes.
So if the valve comes in different, that's fine. But if something, for example, you didn't tell me you've had bad credit or you've got a liquidated company in the background, then it gives the lender the leverage to change things if they really want, right?
Agreed.
So I think this highlighting that that's the only time it should change.
Correct.
If it changes any side other than that, it's a bad lender, if I'm honest.
There's other things in there, isn't there? Because it is movable where bridging comes. So it could be that we do offer out terms because you're going to go to auction. You want to be prepared to, where you want to go, your maximum bid. And they may get excited and we may have to adjust the terms because they've bid more or less than they've won it. That's just a terms adjustment. But there could also be some other little bits that come up. We'll always work with that, but that'll just elongate the time that application takes to come. So we can do deals really quickly, can't we, in that sense?
Yeah, and I think, people use bridging as an enabler, but often it's for the speed element. And, if it's half-hearted information or it's a bit light on day one, then as Jay says, it does elongate the process. Lenders can't make their assessment, and at that point, when it's sort of quick fire and you just issue terms based upon little bits of information, I think that's the situation that you just highlighted, which we spoke about earlier, is that often things will change about that deal because we're now uncovering things that we didn't know day one.
Absolutely. And just another point about, I think this is just a personal opinion, that there's tools now like Brickflow and Broker, which are quite handy. But I think what I've seen it encourage perhaps is brokers who don't really do specialist, just trying it because they've got a sourcing tool there. But what that doesn't tell them is that, this lender's a pain in the back to work with, or this lender's BDM's always on holiday light. What are your thoughts on getting deals from those kind of tools? Are they always well packed? I've never, are they?
It depends on it, actually. So I've worked with Brickflow I know Ian and
He's
the
an
team
investor.
there.
He's going to be like, I'm an investor in it.
No, I'm not an investor. But I was one of the first bridging lenders to go on it back in the past.
Fine.
And it does have its limitations. For example, I'll give you exactly your example there rather than that. So it does allow you a quick way rather than the BCC or the BDMs, which, by the way, BDMs hate.
Absolutely, I imagine.
Okay, so they hate that because if it's a deal that fits with Precise and you're looking for rock bottom, maybe it's not another lender who's in the 1.15% rates would want to look at it. But what it also does is limitations is bridging is quirky, so I don't think it's tick box, and you've always got to filter things. So we've got a product which is an 85% like refurb, and it is a little bit of a sort of drop what we do there, but it doesn't show up on Brickflow properly because they feel that the refurb product needs to be something which is a drawdown policy rather than that. So it does have its limitations, and I'm working with them with that. So I think it's something that you can work with alongside your knowledge rather than just totally dependent on it.
What do you think, Adam?
The Brickflow is a platform for me where it benefits brokers on a sourcing aspect. So for those that don't know how to navigate the specialist space, to have a criteria search that will then provide results of lenders gives them the scope to maybe go to market.
Okay.
But ultimately, bridging has many components, and I feel like you can't put it in a box. So ultimately, partnering with the right lender that can understand the criteria and facilitate that deal works better than some of the stuff we see from those types of platforms.
Amazing. And guys, you guys are quick. Like, I know that's one of the USPs, that you're genuinely quick. Like, it's not, it's not like nonsense. But what's the quickest deal you've done, or you're 3 brokers?
Quickest deal I've done was in 3 working days.
And tell me how though. Was that because the val was done or legals were already done?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah. So this was a deal that was running with a lender outside of MS. Goalpost changed. I wasn't truly aware of exactly the reasons. We picked it up, utilised the existing valuation. The underwrite was done pretty much immediately upon application, and most of the legal aspect of the work was already completed. So literally we just stepped in last minute in order to be able to complete the deal and provide the funds necessary for the client not to lose their deposit.
Love that. I remember my first deal with MS, I think you were my BDM then, 9 working days, and that was from pure start to finish. It wasn't
completion. Listen, we don't mess around.
Okay, and Jamie, you mentioned, like CCing or blind CCing BDMs. I never do it. I'll at least change the hi to Jamie, but...
Well, have it in the same colour. Because sometimes
you'll see the copy and paste comes in.
Blue, you can see
You've
it
got to paste without formatting is what you've got to do. But just on a similar vein, just to, again, people who are watching, as a lender or as a BDM, if you see the same deal for the same client from different brokers coming in, how does that make you feel?
Well, we know about it. We've actually had it this morning.
It happens all the time. We've
had it this morning, and it's the customer. It's twofold, isn't it? It's the customer maybe just fishing around.
They're not trusting their broker, or a broker. They just
And the irony is, we actually see it as a positive in this game because it's an auction deal that needs doing quickly. Commercial, was it on that one?
It was.
Yeah, so commercial on that
purchase.
one. But they've both found their way to MS.
So
there you go straight away.
You're the go-to for that.
So all roads
leads to MS.
Extending group.
But how do you feel? It's more the customer. What we actually talked about in those ones is just to tell the broker where we're up to with it, you know, and let them know if they're banking on that deal that way, so they can actually get involved with the customer. We'll do it. What we won't accept is 2 applications running side by side on it.
That's fair, I suppose. I mean, I think it's one of the rare times, I'll be honest, where I have a bit of an ego in it. Is if I get a whiff that someone's got another broker involved, like you might say, Shaz, we've had it from someone else. I'll politely step back. I'll tell the client, look, just go with whoever you're working with. I don't want to.
I think I was chatting to my broker today on the deal which we've just been talking about, where it's been presented to me by another broker. And I think mixed opinions, but they were quite accepting of the fact that if you're looking for a car, you're not just going to go and pay. You're not going to go and commit to the first car you see. You're going to test the market a little bit, and I think that maybe matches up with maybe clients who don't have a relationship with that broker. Maybe it's the first interaction, but your legacy customers, Shaz, you'd like to think that they trust you.
You'd hope so.
They're not going to go elsewhere and start casting the net far and wide by approaching different brokers. So I think, you see it more so from the clients who, are fresh.
Fresh.
Looking for the first deal, and the flirting a
They
little
just
bit.
put in bridging loans on Google.
Flirting, and it can be a dangerous game because, when you start seeing the same borrower through different brokers, sometimes it loses a bit of credibility.
That's the key thing. And I think one thing I just want to give MS a shout out for, you guys sponsored one of my networking events last year.
Yes.
And I really vividly remember after the event, about 2 weeks after, I had a call from one of the BDMs, and he was like, Shaz, just want to let you know, we've had a direct lead in from that event. Obviously, they saw us at your event, which we sponsored, but they've come in. Do you want to deal with it, or shall we? I was like, well, they contact you direct, and you sponsored the event, then crack on. But that was very nice of you guys to do that.
It's about relationships rather than transactional, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'd find that anyway, in a nice way.
Listen, when upwards of 90% of our business is introduced through brokers, you have to be protective of those relationships.
I think and what I'm not a fan of, I don't mind lenders doing direct business at all. It works for you and it's profitable. What I'm not a fan of is if that direct business is funneled through broker business, i.e. if I give you clients, you then add them to your mailing list and you bombard them with pitches. I'm not a fan of that, and there are lenders who do that in the space.
We don't like it either, do we?
No, I've never been a fan of it.
The approach at MS, the business has been built on introductions. Brokers is the core and heartbeat of what we do day to day. And we're grateful and appreciate that type of business. So, for us, it's about key relationships with our brokers, and we wouldn't want to jeopardise that. So, we don't fish around. We don't use, clients direct that have been introduced by a broker to start trying to, sort of win business from. It's just
Some people do, and it's crazy. I just want to.
No, but they shouldn't be doing it because, like I said earlier, it's
Yeah.
based on repeat business, isn't it? So why would I want relationships with 1,000 brokers and get one deal off them and then annoy them? Nearly swore then. So why annoy them? Or just, it's that repeat business and people come back. And that's what I love about MS Lending Group is because they absolutely do have repeat business come through us.
Absolutely.
Look at some bridging products, properties here as well.
Have you done some deals here, have you?
Would you even say
always do deals.
it's for a lender, it's working sort of smarter, not harder? If we're getting sometimes, as you probably know yourself, you have to handheld direct client.
Yes.
Do we want that pain
No,
of
absolutely not.
educating a client, or do we want to be able to trust our brokers who can navigate this space, they're experts at what they do, to be able to
100%.
facilitate a deal with us?
And
for us, that's the easier angle for us.
Absolutely. I think from a client's perspective, just if I was a client, unless I'm doing the same cookie cutter deal every single time like a template, MS Lending may not be the best lender for that deal every single time. And I use an example, Octane. So Octane for HMO conversions where you're funding the work, at a certain point in time we're the go-to lender. And then there were some clients who'd go to them direct and use them again and again, and that's absolutely fine because for that kind of deal within loan to values, loan to GDVs, we're probably spot on. But as a direct client, you're never going to know what's on the other side, what's available. There's always new lenders. And Jimmy, it's interesting you said it's a big industry, but it's also very small. Everyone knows
I always
everyone.
think there's a village.
Yeah, and very incestuous, a lot of overlap, and things will come out afterwards. And I think what's the word? Professional and ethics, all that kind of stuff really come into play, and it's important not to screw each other over, really.
It's about being nice to everyone, and it's the same way. I know what the lenders do, I know who the BDMs are, I know who the brokers are, but actually on the direct customers, where I deal with a lot of direct customers, guess where I get them from?
Social media.
No, well, I do get them from social media.
Where do you get them from?
My number one on that list of family fortunes is other lenders.
Okay.
So other lenders give me customers who they can't deal with, and I have a relationship with them, and they give me the direct customer to deal with from there.
Okay, guys, tell me behind the scenes, is there like a WhatsApp group for brokers and business leaders in the background, or is it not as
There is a few, but there's smaller groups in there as well. So I think back to your point, if most of us know each other, or the one group I'm in, most of us actually that have in sort of my position now, that have the headaches of looking after someone like Adam and all the teams. We've probably more worked at Precise at some point. So
the OSB group.
so there is the Precise group. So there's the ones like that, and I know there's others dotted around like that. There's a lot of BDM groups out there. So I know there's definitely one in the southwest that are BDMs and they all talk to each other. So as much as broker groups, there is definitely BDM groups out there.
Love that.
Yeah, we could maybe start a lender group and sort of, red flag and banishing certain brokers from introducing business.
Wow.
That'd be a good idea.
And guys, also in terms of, again, for clients, because people always ask, and they're asking more these days to me as well, is like, okay, look, what if I get to the end of my term and he's going to be late on repaying his loan back? What happens? I always say, look, ultimately, if you've got a 12-month loan, realistically, in month 6, you should be kind of ready to refinance because you take a 12 months for the buffer and the time frame. You should be keeping the lender informed, or your broker, keep the lender informed. But ultimately, if things go south, as long as the lender knows what's going on, they'll work with you. Whether that is charging default rates, charging high fees, and it's all on paper. Repossessions, things like that, I think that's very, very, very last resort. It costs you more to do that than it is to work with the client, right?
So it's about communication. It's about customers reading the documents that they're agreeing, so getting into bed with, first of all, have a look at all the clauses on there for any lenders, what are going to be any defaults to them. Guess what? That's what's not talked about a lot is that lenders don't put on the default rates or different fees just because they want to. It's because it's based on the funding.
Someone else is expecting their money back.
It's based on the funding. So it's our funding agreements as well from all these lenders talking about it. So I was talking to a customer this morning who had that same concern, who was saying about, well, after 12 months, I said, communicate with us, see what your contingent exits are now to it, make sure that you've got an exit plan, potentially. I'm not saying that this should be the way, but if you really are getting to the point where you need to rebridge it, well, that needs to be done not a day before or a week before, that needs to be considered in the months before. Correct. Just deal with either a broker at that time to get that thing done, because it wouldn't be a rebridge with ourselves, it would be a rebridge with another lender. So
one of as you know, one of the pillars with MS is flexibility, but also it's really important that we have that contact strategy you just mentioned there. So our backbook team they have milestones on 3, 6, and 9 months with a live loan. So we're constantly in touch with that borrower, checking on the progress. So, ultimately, you can start to identify problems earlier than maybe leaving it late in the day. And we have made concessions depending on the situation, but ultimately, for those customers that are unresponsive or haven't really sort of delivered upon their original intentions, then it would just be a standard practice of obviously goes over term and defaults are applicable, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had one client recently who's got overturned, but again, you guys are flexible. He told you what was going on. We had a mortgage offer, so we kind of post offer on the remortgage. He ended up paying the default rate for I think a month, and then cleared the loan, and that's what you want, right? Yeah. Happy days. I just want to ask a question whilst it's topical, and I noticed Savills as well. BBC Panorama had Connell's undercover investigation about conditional selling. So conditional selling is when an estate agent may force you to use their mortgage broker to even put an offer forward to kind of pre-qualify you and make sure you get lending for them. It's actually against estate agency rules, and there's some laws around it. First of all, what are your thoughts on that?
I watched the Panorama the other day, and my wife's quite black and white about things as well. So just before anything was going to happen, I was telling her what was just about to happen. So I think in that, it makes us know that it's not an isolated event. We all know it happens.
Yes.
Doesn't make it right by any stretch of the imagination. I also do think, shout out, not that she will watch this, but I'm sure, I would hope she does, but it's not Charlie's fault. That is conditional about what targets and what they're being told to do.
Yeah.
That is totally conditional on what they're being targeted to do in that sense. So, of course, they want to pick up more mortgage business in the background. It pays that way, but I've been there on the other side when I've worked for a well-known estate agent that may be part of that group now, back in the day, where, the targets were sell a mortgage, but don't sell a mortgage. A mortgage is a vehicle to sell protection. So it is all the other ways. But ultimately, I always talk about there's a customer at the end of this.
Of course it is.
And the customer was not getting potentially the best deal. If they're not being presented with the best offers, that's deplorable in my mind,
100%.
I think it's just about what's happening out there, and it's not good.
Yeah, and I think the response from Connell's that it's an isolated incident didn't wash with me, if I'm honest, just because we know it's a business model. But one thing that someone that I saw post on Instagram, actually, and I wish it was a LinkedIn post for a conversation, but she said, well, hang on, now everyone's on Connell's back, jumping on the bandwagon. I've seen loads of brokers jumping on it for content. What about brokers, specialist brokers who place business with lenders given a high proc fee? Surely that's also disadvantaging the client, isn't it? And there's a lot of that happening, or getting kickbacks from solicitors and not declaring it properly. And I think especially non-reg industries, it's very...
Yeah, it's not policed as well, is it?
No.
Well, I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of that in the past. I'm not going to use you as a lender if you don't pay me a 2% prop fee, or maybe what it is. I think the way that we work it, and for your clients here, the MS Lending Group, is that everybody gets 2%. And it's actually, the better thing for that is it's all transparent as well, so it's all shown. You'll be able to show your clients. It's all on the sheet. Remember, there's lenders out there that don't put the prop fee on any of the sheets, and they don't put it on any of the offers. Your group knows, and all those sort of things. So it's all transparent. And what's also transparent with that is that if you want to mould the deal with us, we can actually say less prop fee, put back into rate, or put back into another element. So we're shaping a deal with 100%. You that way as well. So
and I just want to make it clear for people watching, if you're a client, bridging loans versus mortgages. On a bridging loan, you pay us 2% or 1% or whatever. If I decide to reduce that or increase that, it affects what the client pays, right? On a mortgage, it doesn't. On a mortgage, lender could pay us £10, £1,000, £10,000. Doesn't affect it because you can't change it. It's absorbed within it.
The rate's all there. The rate's all there.
It's important to be transparent around that on your term sheet. Which you guys are. A lot of lenders are. Some aren't. How much is the broker getting paid? I'm not saying brokers should reduce prop fees. I tend to, because we've had the conversations different. But how much a broker gets paid affects what you pay ultimately. And what about you? I mean, did you watch it, Panorama?
I didn't, to be fair, no. I've got a busy life at the moment with 3 daughters and a baby, so my nights are a lot different to...
we spoiled it all for you now anyway.
It reminded me of a programme a few years ago, which was, I think, a Panorama one as well, where, again, my wife watching it, and someone went into the estate agents and said, I've only got £5,000 income, but I was looking at this house that's worth 400 grand. I paused it and I said to my wife, at any point now, the broker's going to suggest to them a buy-to-let mortgage.
And is that what happened?
She went, no, what do you mean buy-to-let mortgage? I suppose he wants to live there. And I went, pause.
Buy-to-let
And they
mortgage?
went, buy-to-let
Oh my
mortgage. She went, how do you know they're going
God.
to do that? I said, well, it's called a backdoor residential, and this is why lenders and all that. So this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing, the panorama. So it's not just a Connells thing, just for any of my Connells friends watching. This is estate agents, conditional selling, and there just needs to be either more regulation or tightening up of it.
I think the point for me is to really hit home is it highlights the importance of actually dealing with a trusted broker.
Correct.
That has the best interest for a client, ultimately, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, Adam, really quickly, you're from this part of the world. What is Wilmslow famous for? Because you've got Patek, you've got Rolex.
Wilmslow, what's Wilmslow famous for? Well, I'm from North Manchester, so this is just a...
Wilmslow's famous for MS Lending Group.
MS Lending Group, because you wouldn't have these stores here unless the people around you could afford them, right?
I think Wilmslow is an area which is fairly affluent. So we're walking a high street with top-notch brands.
Tony and Guy.
Tony and
When I had hair, when I used to straight,
likes of Rolex, you've got Aston Martin up the road. And I think that positions it quite well for MS Lending Group. We're a premium brand which sits nicely on this type of town and village.
But it's more for the people down south that think it's always grim. Look at the weather.
Look at the
Lovely.
weather.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Look at the Rolex. We could be on Regent Street here, couldn't we?
Sun is shining.
Could be in Newport in Killeen.
Could be this isn't like Newport from where we are from, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Haven't seen a pound shop yet, have we?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Even the charity shops are good to shop at.
For everyone on camera, me and Shaz both come from Newport, so I'm not having a dig at Newport.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, question for you in terms of products now, just about regulated and non-regulated. Just explain for people watching, you don't do regulated, but is there any instance you could take charges on own residents if it's a limited company doing the application?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we don't lend for works.
Okay.
So if the client is looking to purchase a property and they don't have the cash to sell on the work, we have an appetite to cross-charge against the client's portfolio, and that would also include the opportunity to lend against their main residence. So we can secure against the main residence on a first or second. If it's a first charge on an unencumbered main residence,
You'll do a first, right?
Then we can offer a first charge via a third-party legal charge to a limited company.
Shaz.
Yes.
This is my Michael Parkinson moment, yeah? So I get to ask you a question. What do you wish lenders do more of? What do you want lenders to do more of?
If I'm being really macro on it, just a really clear checklist. This is what we need for the loan to get to this stage, and complete.
Okay.
Because that would help me and my admin team get you what you need.
Yeah.
Also, I think a lot of it is like smoke and mirrors in terms of some lenders, you have access to a decision maker, you have credit team, you have, this and that. Just tell us who makes the decisions, get the case over to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you then need more information from us to get the decision, subject to Val, basically, let's get it done. So I think just more really clear understanding of what do you need to be able to agree the deal, and nothing's going to change unless something else changes from third party.
And top 3 pet peeves?
Pet peeves are,
It's really good.
I think lenders with gimmicks. I'm not a fan of gimmicks. Like you guys are straightforward. You got USP, which is really quick, and you do ABMs, and not many people really do that. They'll say, I recently had a lender who offered or said it was a no-val product, right? So no-val, I thought a bit of common sense. Maybe it's like a internal type val, yeah. So send some pictures. It turned out it was like a desktop. So you sent them floor plans, video, basically what you guys asked for.
Yeah.
As well as a site visit for 5 minutes to do measurements. The problem was...
So it is a physical foul.
Exactly what I said. The problem was as well, on top of that, the property was rented on Airbnb, and they had a guest in there who was there for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
So the client sent me screenshots like, Shaz, I can get them out, but it's going to cost me £1,000 to readjust the booking. And the lender's like, well, we can't lend without this. I was like, but you said it's a no-val. This is like,
So flexibility as well.
Flexibility, but also just not misleading. I wouldn't have gone to that lender.
Do what you say you're going to do, basically.
Yeah, just be true to your word.
Yeah.
There's so many lenders out there that you haven't got to play silly games. That's the other thing, silly little terms. So, for example, lenders who charge non-utilization fees.
Okay.
It's fine because that's how their money works. That's okay, but there's enough lenders out there who don't. So you're off the list.
Yeah.
Or lenders who just have hidden admin fees, again, because there's so many lenders out there.
Yeah.
And often the funding lines are similar or the same or overlapping, that you can kind of easily just riff through the ones who've got all these layers of crap, just to get to the key good ones. So yeah, do what you say you're going to do. Don't have kind of smoke and mirrors around really what you want to lend on. And just have a really, I think, just a sensible kind of checklist or something similar where it's like, this is what we need to get to this stage, to this stage, and to this stage.
Like it. What makes a great BDM?
What makes a BDM? Someone who is, okay, well, just a little anecdote. There was a lender I was using a lot last year, not you guys, I was using you guys as well. Their BDM left to go somewhere else because that always happens in the industry, which you probably tell us about that afterwards.
Yeah.
And,
Usually my fault.
Yeah, usually your fault poaching them. But anyway, so they left. But without a business development manager, I just felt a bit lost because my contact then was the guy who was one of the partners in the firm.
Okay.
A good BDM is able to communicate with you, can help you package and present the deal. You tell them everything. The same way I say to a client, tell me everything, and I'll figure it out. I tell you everything, you be like, Shaz, look, just present it this way, it should be fine. So without a good BDM, it just didn't work, so I've stopped using them now. But they've got someone else in now, which is great.
Okay.
So yeah, someone who communicates well, someone who is flexible, someone who I feel, if needed, could just bend over backwards for me. Not that I want to do that, but it's like the Godfather, isn't it? That day may never come, but I will need you. Do you know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, that support system, essentially, and just
They
represent.
wear the problem as well, so they're not trying to pass it off. They're actually wearing the brands and
also
doing it.
someone who isn't there just as a sales tool.
Yeah.
There are some BDMs who are really on it when it comes to the front end, getting the deal, getting the quote. But then when there's any issues or questions or problems, they don't really want to know.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Running for the hills.
Yeah, I don't like
I was
that.
talking to a BTM the other day actually that was telling us about, which I loved, that he rung a broker and the broker said, can't speak to you for the next 2 weeks, I'm on paternity, something close to your heart. You've had a lot of paternities. But, and when the BDM rung up the next time, he didn't try and sell to them. What they said was, just want to know how the family is and all that. And the broker went, I love that.
It's basic sales, isn't it?
It is basic sales, but how many do it?
One thing I always observe, and I'm always observing and consuming, is like, I think a sign of a good lender or a good working environment is when people stay at the same place for a long time.
Yeah.
So like, I'll use Lendinvest as an example. They very rarely have staff changes internally.
Yeah.
Because people like where they work. Adam, you've been at MS and you seem like you're going to stay here forever. Jamie, you've moved about a bit.
I haven't moved about.
I know you haven't. You got that reputation, but you haven't.
I know, but people see me as.
No, but you haven't. But like in the industry, generally, you'll see BDMs, especially so people in doing your role, maybe every 9 to 15 months go to a different lender, and suddenly that lender is the one they've always wanted to work with. Their values align. Why does that happen? Because I haven't really got a clue.
So let's answer it from both points. So I think it all starts at the interview and the interviewer picking the right person.
Okay.
So, is that me looking at the right CVs, asking the right questions? Is that me then working for a lender, actually selling the culture correctly and actually what the role is? Because some of these BDMs will come in and maybe their incentive package is different than what you said it was going to be. Maybe the proposition that you said that you could actually do exactly what's important to you. Can I get things through credit this way? Have I got flexibility? Yes. You'll say all those things in an interview, and then they find out they don't, or their patch changes. Let's flip it back to the BDM though. I've seen many a BDM who've been through 5 lenders, and it's always the lender's fault. All those 5 lenders, and there's only one common denominator through all those 5 lenders was the BDM.
Yeah.
I think I've had BDMs which I've interviewed which would go, oh, do you know what I do really well? I answer phone calls and I answer emails, and I said, wow.
Basic.
Yeah, I breathe oxygen too. That's really good.
Doing your job.
But actually, that makes them already in the top quartile. So BDMs who I've seen them make up appointments, fictitious appointments and all that, and it's actually harder to do the job wrong than it is actually to do the job right.
The basics.
The basics. Just go out there, be good communicators.
Fill your calendar, speak to
fill your
people.
calendar, speak it, be organised, do all these things. But it is about spinning plates, and some can take the pressure, some can't take the pressure, and some think that just going to somewhere else is that. BDM roles out there in a lot of lenders, especially all over the place, are paid well as well. So actually, the price of BDM is going up. I'm sure.
I think I'm really good at BDM. Adam, in terms of the role itself, because I always obviously got loads of BDM friends. It's not 9 to 5. Like you might be on the road, and then you got to answer your emails once you're back home, and there's the travel time. So how do you manage that, especially when you're got kids and stuff?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think there's a certain DNA for a BDM.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is not a 9 to 5 job, and look, I think there is your average BDMs that probably do look at the job as a 9 to 5, and I think there's BDMs that are known to be a little bit more, above and beyond. And I think for me to be able to get the best out of my relationships, it is about making yourself available, but it comes with a balance. As you say, I've got a young family, but I'll be honest, I love what I do.
And that's really key, isn't it?
And, you know, when I'm sat there at 7 o'clock at night and I've been on the road all day, actually nothing excites me more than to get my laptop open and look at a new deal.
There you go.
Support another broker.
And I think just from a general customer service sales point of view, like I'm your client and I have my clients, the investors, in my opinion, I say it's on other content and podcasts, it's like most emails or messages, they can be answered by yes, no, maybe, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't take like hours. So as long as you signpost, if I emailed you and I was like, Shaz, thanks for this, I'm on the road, I'll get back to you by the end of the day. That's okay. I'm not going to chase you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there going, "Oh, Adam's taking ages, isn't he?"
Yeah, I think that holding email or holding
acknowledgement
response carries a bit of weight, doesn't it? Otherwise, as you say, it's almost like being ignored.
I've seen it. I'm coming back to you in a moment, Shaz. I'm doing it. Yeah, I absolutely. Because I was BDM, I always think of myself, I'm still a BDM at heart. I love...
Maverick.
But that's the bit I love about the job. I love doing deals. They know I love trying to speak about deals and doing it and presenting it and speaking to brokers. Much more fun than an Excel spreadsheet, believe me. And I climb the walls if I'm in the office too much. But it's about spinning plates. That's the best part of the job. If you can't spin plates... Terrible. And also, the other thing is, if I've got 50 emails and I answer 49 of them and I've worked till 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever time it is, everyone always works an hour later, don't they? Does that one email that I haven't answered know that I've answered 49 or just think they've had bad service?
Exactly
so it
is about time management. One of the tricks I use from my end is if I'm working late, I'll schedule those emails to go out in the morning so no one expects me to work late.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll still do it, it's just they don't expect it. But also...
Sometimes you can set the tone a little bit, don't you? You know, answering calls at 8 o'clock, you know, making yourself available. Some brokers then expect
or even
those calls to be taken at those sort of times of night. So actually, that might be a tactic.
100%, or WhatsApp. So I'm not a big fan of WhatsApp in terms of business use of WhatsApp, i.e. deals. So if someone does WhatsApp me, I'll acknowledge it. I'll be like, that's great. Do you mind putting that on an email to the trail?
Yeah.
So you control where the conversation goes. You know.
But it's changing because I've done a lot of more business than I've ever done through WhatsApp, and I do a hell of a lot more now through LinkedIn. So I'm doing lots through LinkedIn because I've obviously changed company.
Yes.
I think what is missing is that I'm reaching out to all my contacts on LinkedIn, direct messages, not through AI.
Yeah.
I'm just finding people.
You personally doing it?
Personally doing it. He knows I sit on the train and I'll do it, and I'm just reaching out, and that's actually creating a lot more business.
And that's what you want. And how much that cost you? Nothing. Do you know what I mean? People are scared to do stuff like that.
Well, my wife will say I'm addicted to working anyway, so I was doing it on my birthday the other day, and I like doing it.
Addicts to LinkedIn.
Addicts to
LinkedIn addicts. Okay guys, so now we are at the new offices in MS Lending, Sandfield House in Wilmslow. Give us a tour please, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walk us in,
let's go, let's go.
Guys, they share it with the A, that's really exciting me. Cool. It's nice and quiet in here. Is any work being done?
There's lots of work being done. It's
Silent assassins, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of work being done.
So how long have you guys been here? In this office?
God, we've been here for now 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
3 months now, so time flies.
Shell, complete blank canvas, and with the partnership of Michael and Alex, they have completely transformed, what was a Shell into a beautiful working space.
And we think it's really important to have a really beautiful space to work in because we're 5 days in the office.
Yeah, Adam was saying,
Yeah, so 5 days in the office in that sense. So it's really good. I think it builds a good culture. It's great for when guests are coming in here, which they do a lot, landlords, brokers come in.
It's one of those you'd want to come into the office. You know, if it was some dingy kind of serviced office that was really small, overcrowded, like you said, you wouldn't want to come in or you'd feel a bit, But this is on brand as well, which helps.
On brand.
The colours, soft features, everything. It does make you want to come in and work. Are you growing the team? It seems there's a lot of space here to get more people in, right?
Always growing the team, always growing where we are. So even from a sales perspective, we've had more BDMs, sales desk has been built out. So, one of the things we said about BDMs is that I can always get in touch with my BDM. I always think, are they not in appointments then? So they're obviously, Adam's going to be in appointments. So when he is, we've got sales support, we've got Ash and others coming in who can support that. But we've been writing tremendous business, up to 60 deals and units per month with 2 underwriters. And now we've put a third one who's experienced Tobias from internal into that team. We're always looking for more case processors because they are the heartbeat of the team and drive the case through. So yeah, massive
I think
expansion.
the office sort of, I suppose, it's going to enable growth.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we've taken
It's future-proofing a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
such a large office, and yes, there's a few sort of empty desks, but certainly within the next 6 to 12 months, there'll be a lot more bodies pushing the right buttons.
Yeah.
In order to help us get where we need to be.
No, it's what I find interesting, and obviously my knowledge has grown as I've grown as a broker as well. Is like, especially specialist bridging lenders, I never really know how big they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's just
Yeah.
maybe 3 guys, there's private family money,
yeah.
signing things off, but this is a full team. It's actually a business.
29 of us.
Yeah, mad. 29.
29.
Crazy. Just in terms of, so that's, I guess, your breakout.
No eating at desks.
We've got a few sort of informal meeting spaces,
Yeah.
which I suppose we use mainly for internal catch-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take it down here.
Lovely boardroom.
Oh, nice and spacious and airy. What's that? Okay, cool. I like it.
Interactive screen as well, which none of us know how to use, other than Alice.
Company values here, guys. Reliable,
Yeah.
flexible,
Flexible and reliable, Chaz.
Yeah.
fast. Okay.
Pillars.
Pillars of MS Lending, guys. I'll be a test in the comments. What are the 3 pillars of MS Lending?
I think that's the room I use the most, isn't it? I'm constantly
The
on.
war room.
I'm just constantly on that to teams, to brokers as well. So we talked about everything changing. I can't always be in London all the time, but I can be on Teams to them.
Yeah, I think this is it. We Michael and Alex have created, a really great work environment and space for people to be able to thrive in the business.
Yeah.
Beforehand in the previous office, it was a little bit more cramped.
filling it up, basically.
Yeah. And that we didn't have the luxury of some of these breakouts. And I think in order to thrive, you have to create the atmosphere, and they've done really, really
That's
well
investing,
with
isn't it?
respect.
Investing in people
Absolutely.
and in your business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I noticed you got the 2 Bs, Bridge and Commercial Awards.
We
Best
have.
short-term lender, or is that something different?
We have, no, there are our B&C gongs.
Award-winning, multi-award-winning.
Multi-award
winning.
And yeah, this is the people, the family of MS Lending Group as you come around into the office. We've kind of broke it into teams in terms of departments. We have the sales sort of function just over here. And then at the heartbeat and central, what we do obviously is our sort of processing under
This guy, he just chats a lot. Honestly. Who is he?
Shout out to
He's the reason we all know about
Everything.
service team, which manage our live loan book and deal with customers who are looking for redemptions, and most importantly for the likes of Shaz, our finance team, and all brokers, that's where all the prop fees get paid.
Oh, which I'm still outstanding from someone else for a week. Okay, so it's unacceptable, is what I'm saying. And you mentioned, Adam, earlier as well that because obviously the office and stuff, that there is no remote working.
There is no remote working, no. So we're trying to sort of create a culture of being in the office, and I think because we're only sort of just approaching our 5th year, difficult to try and create that culture when you've got remote working.
Yeah.
So I think with certainly for us, in our opinion, because loans are so fluid, working in the office and working cross-collaboratively across departments really enables, the workflow of that deal moving quickly, because, when you need to sort of shout an underwriter or you need an update from processing, the ability just to go and walk over to someone's desk really helps.
Yeah.
Love that. And guys, I'll ask you one question each. Well, maybe is it 1 or 2? We'll see. What one thing do you think brokers should know about MS Lending?
One thing that they should know about us is that actually everything that we said with our 3 pillars, fast, flexible and reliable, is true. We are fast, we are flexible, we are reliable.
Touch wood, so far that's gone really well in my experience as well.
No,
So
it's good.
Yeah.
It's about doing it consistently. So I've been blown away about how we're keeping to those pillars. I suppose the second bit of that is just know our contact details. So
Jamie on LinkedIn, guys everywhere. He's worse than me. He's worse than me. And no, for you it's different actually. So that's for brokers.
In my head.
No. Similar though. What should clients know about? What should investors?
What should investors know about MS Lending Group? I think the biggest thing for me is we are a trustworthy and reliable business. And when investors are looking to partner, with a bridger or even a lender, I think for me personally, and speaking to brokers, that is what is greatly appreciated the most, is trust and reliability.
let me give you a stat to back that up actually. So it is that from the application flow that comes in, 75% of our applications that we receive complete. So what that means is that our terms that we're giving out can be trusted.
Yes.
actually the only things that will slip that up is maybe that valuation or the legal process and something that comes up from that. But even with those situations, sometimes we'll see even how we can lend against it as well. So that is a massive figure. You ask your other bridging lenders how big their conversion rates are, it will not be that high.
It won't be that high. It won't be that high at all. And guys, am I right in thinking if a potential investor wanted to come into the office, meet you guys, is that something you guys
They do.
Encourage it now.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
I think we're proud of
pinching
the
direct
space
business, and they from Leaf.
we're proud of the space we've
No,
created.
but brokers
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
in
Yeah.
I was in a meeting room this week with a broker and a customer comes in, they could see it, they were impressed by it, and that deal's come in.
You know what it is? I speak to like some lenders. First of all, yeah, in terms of, I think when you mentioned that it's a reputable business, and that's important because I've seen a lot of bridging lenders, even in my small time in the industry, come and go. And that's not good. You want to make sure they're reliable. But also, I think it's good what you guys are doing in terms of the branding and marketing and
Yeah,
advertising, because it's an easier sell to a client. If I say to a client, yeah, I'm going to use MS Lending, but they've seen you somewhere, that's helpful. Yeah, I've seen an event or I heard you on a podcast or this content, versus I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Brand awareness, isn't
And
it?
often it is about perception, isn't it? You know?
Absolutely.
And there's all different ways, obviously, to market yourself. But I suppose nothing speaks more volumes to be able to invite people in to see the operation, and
Incredible, isn't it?
to look in the whites of our eyes,
Yeah.
and to know we're also northern based and we're extremely friendly and personable. I think that bodes
Yeah.
well.
I still can't get over that you say he's more well spoken than me
He's
as well.
very well spoken. I mean, we're from Newport, so maybe
Oh, yeah,
to us
yeah,
everything's
yeah,
well spoken.
yeah,
but
that's a good point.
Perfect, guys. Look, anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
Just if you haven't used us before, try us out, honestly. Just try us out. Jump onto the bandwagon that Shaz is on and other brokers are on.
It's not a bandwagon, guys. I'm here for life. I'm here for life. Adam, anything you want to finish? By the way, guys, Adam does not like this latte.
He wasn't
He's
right now, so I'm not gonna lie.
had this for the longest time.
He's watered down now as well with all the ice. One thing I have to say, I would say that for those who are looking for fast, flexible, reliable bridging finance, MS is the go-to. And if you want to make that introduction to Shaz, he's a quality, credible broker that knows how to get deals done.
I am. He's absolutely right, and so is Julian as well. But guys, yeah, so this is something different in terms of content. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you want more, please let me know. Until next time, I guess it's ciao for now.
Thank you.
Now.
Bye-bye.